Welcome to Reactive Reload, a radio show you're always on time for. I'm just one of your hosts, Irish Cowboy, joined by your other host, Crossover. We are going to be reloading the gaming entertainment news for the last week or so and reacting to it. I know. We'll be touching on where we could see Xbox and PlayStation going in the future, while at the same time also touching a very big Manhattan Project Dragon. But first, the Bethesda deal. So nice, you gotta talk about it twice.
The memes are great, dude. It's like, it's two guys. Like, we need new exclusives to compete with the PS5. We have Gears of War, Halo, Forza, Hellblade 2, Scorn, and Flight Simulator. The gamers want God of War and Spider-Man. And then it's just a picture. It's just a picture of like Microsoft. And he goes, "I bought Bethesda." And Xbox. Xbox is just staring, and he goes, "It seemed neater."
Oh my God, that's from Inception, right? When he's like, I bought the airline. It seemed neater. Yeah. That is a perfect example. That is a perfect example. Man, that was so good. That is great. They were so mad about it. People are still so mad.
How could Bethesda do this? Why wouldn't they let these good games? Like, now you're starting to get a taste of what Phil Spencer was talking about that whole time, huh?
Yeah,
how he said that exclusives are bad for consoles. Like, it's not a good look for gaming. That maybe all games should be opened up across all platforms. Maybe now PlayStation users will start to see that instead of sitting on their mighty high horse going, "Ooh, we have Spider-Man and God of War."
They were talking about. Yeah, that is what they sound like. It's an exact representation. I hear.
Fucking angry nerds.
They're sweaty too.
Yes.
And they want to stick by their exclusives, and most of them they won't be able to play on the PlayStation 5. It's hilarious. But really it is. Like, I made a comment to that Amazing Lucas guy. Is like, it's literally God of War and Spider-Man at this very moment in time. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn is okay, I guess, but I mean, that's only for like a niche crowd of people who are into that who are into robot dinosaurs. I mean, that's Transformers. Like, they already had that covered.
Right.
Nothing makes sense on Horizon Zero Dawn. Absolutely nothing.
Feels like such a waiting game now.
It is.
Until November 10th at this point. It's just like, now everything gets quiet. We know everything that's about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
No more surprises. There's no more leaks. It's just a month of waiting.
Phil Spencer was talking about buying. So you know that Microsoft has been talking about buying Capcom since 2007.
Really?
Yeah. That would be, if they did, that would be amazing. But I have a feeling Sony is going to try and snag them up like ASAP. Because people,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense for them to do it, and people say that like it seems more likely that they'll do it just because of the exclusives that they have with Capcom, like in Monster Hunter. But I don't think that people should just say that it's probably going to be Sony because they've had exclusives with them. Like, the Bethesda deal showed everyone that you know it doesn't matter what your games are there. I mean, they were also talking about bringing Game Pass to PlayStation.
Not even that, the Destiny, the whole Destiny with Game Pass being on there. I mean, that should show you by itself. I mean, like we've talked about it a lot. You know, it feels like we bring up. Yeah, it feels like we bring up Destiny every podcast.
Yeah, but no idea why. No idea why.
Yeah, no, might not have anything to do with the show name, right? That's not it. But they were getting exclusive weapons for up to a year. You know what I mean? Before Microsoft was getting them, and then now all of a sudden it'll be free to play.
Yeah, Zen Meteor, Jade Rabbit. I think Zen Meteor might have been 2 years. They're just so confident that the game is going to be around, alive and well by then. I mean, they did sign a 10-year contract. Destiny did Bungie did with Activision. It was supposed to be like a 10, maybe it was a 5-year or 10-year plan. I think it was a 10-year plan. I don't know what's going on with them, but like this new engine better have something good. Phil Spencer was also talking about having Xbox Game Pass available on the PlayStation Network. That was a few years ago, though. But now it just makes sense. I mean,
No.
they could still do it, but like they really have the balls in their court with their exclusives now. But I think it would be cool. It's something that could easily happen at any moment if they wanted to. But I don't think anyone will think that makes sense at right now. Like, all the dust hasn't settled yet. That a couple years down the line, maybe people will be into Game Pass. I have a feeling exclusives are going to be so defined between consoles now, and that's what we're going to be looking at. I know that that's what everyone says we should be looking at. That's what everyone wants, but it's really going to seem that way. If Sony stuck with the whole Marvel deal and they started making new open world Marvel games based on like these solo superheroes, that seems to be, I would be okay with it just because it's a reason to get a PlayStation console. Even if they did buy Capcom as well, because Xbox would have Bethesda, Sony would have all the Marvel games. I would want Marvel games to have some exclusivity on Xbox, but I kind of think that Sony might need a couple of things now. My whole opinion of them has changed to like, well, what could Sony have? Let's be nice to those guys.
Yeah, the only thing that would worry me about that is I feel like that would actually kind of cancel the need to get an Xbox. Because anything that you could get on the Xbox, you could get on PC, but that wouldn't be the case with a PlayStation. So really the only incentive that you would have if you didn't have a PC, I guess, would be to go with Sony. Or I guess if you did have a PC, your only incentive to buy a console would be for Sony, and it would just be for their games. And I don't think that that's good for gaming. I think Phil Spencer is ultimately right. And I like being an Xbox kind of fanboy. Whoops.
Hey, you can be whatever you want in 2020.
Yeah, I'm living my truth. Okay. But being the Xbox fanboy that I am, a part of me is excited about Bethesda, but a part of me is also worried about the gaming industry as a whole going forward. Because PC is always going to get like the better titles in general to get up there. You know what I mean? Like Valorant, stuff like that. When stuff that releases that isn't like a big AAA or like, I guess, an independent game from Microsoft Studio or Sony's studios or whatever. But like, I think it's really disappointing that like I don't think that you can play Spider-Man on PC, can you? I think it's only for the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's only for. They also made a remaster too for the PS5. So as soon as you get Miles Morales, you get Spider-Man 4 for. I guess it comes with it, the remastered edition, which I haven't finished Spider-Man 4 yet. But dude, I almost got a little bit emotional when I played Spider-Man 4 for the first time because it felt like better and so much more than what Spider-Man 2 was. And Spider-Man 2 was like a big part of my life. I no-lifed the shit out of that game. And Doc Ock, I don't care what anyone says, it's one of the hardest bosses in any game I've ever fought. Like that changed me. That was probably the moment that I had to adjust and like actually think of myself beating this a boss. Maybe that was when I decided to become a gamer. Maybe that was when I like, okay, I did it. I beat this guy. And I'm sure for some people are going to be like, oh, I wiped the floor with them. But for me, this is my first like solo experience taking on like, a crazy boss. And I was just like, wow. Because like before that, when I would see bosses in games, I would just like, it doesn't matter what it would be. I would just ignore it. I would like look up and see what people are doing around me. Like back when people used to go to each other's houses to play video games. Remember those days, man.
Yeah. I remember those days. Remember the split screen days?
Yeah.
Like playing split screen with I can't even imagine it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it'd drive me crazy.
It was that's where I I started getting my name around with Halo here in Indy. Like and going to the tournaments and stuff, we would go to these parties and do LAN parties, and then people would come to these parties that my buddy Jimmy was hosting, and they would come there just to play me in Halo. and so when they did it, everyone would be just doing typical party stuff, and then but we would all be down like in the basement. He had like a 3-story house. Sometimes we were in the middle, sometimes we were in the basement, and they had a garbage chute down there. We would just a laundry chute. We would just throw trash down there at them whenever things are going on. And there in Halo, like people could delay the countdown to start the game whenever they wanted to. So when you have a huge LAN party with like 3 people on those floors, and at least 2 or 3 of them on each floor were trolls. They would just hit delay, and no one would do what it was. So you would just hear people yelling at each other through the laundry chute, like "knock it off." We used to take our TVs and Xboxes to each other's houses too. Like in the middle of the summer, we would just walk around with these big TVs. It almost looked like we were like robbing places and walking around with TVs and Xboxes. But nope, we were just taking it over there. Thank God they've at least gotten a little bit more portable.
Yeah,
the Series X is a big boy.
Yeah,
it is a thick boy.
Girthy. I'm looking at a lot of the games that are coming to Game Pass just in October. There are some big ones here.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
October
Doom
1st.
I miss the old Doom.
Minutes.
Not like the original Doom, but like there was the story. There was like when Doom was actually, I think was it the second? I can't remember. It was some Doom on Xbox that came out, and you could play with friends on. It was one of the first instances you could play a co-op story with your friends on Xbox Live. And I can't remember which one that was, but it was so much fun, and it just seemed a lot more intense, or not intense, but I don't know. I wish they would have gone that route as opposed to this arcade shoot 'em up style that they've got going on now for Doom. That's the one thing I don't like is like how over the top ridiculous it is, but it still looks really good. Like I don't like seeing all those like glowing power ups and ammo boxes like on the ground. It's just they're just trying to be as outrageous as possible. And I hope in the next one that it gets a little bit refined. Or maybe it won't. Maybe it's just always going to be that way. And I have to get over it.
Yeah, it could be. I'm sorry this is happening to you. But so Doom Eternal will be on there, which I feel like got really overlooked because this was also around the time that COVID started happening around the world. When it released. I think it was like right around the time I'm reading Kotaku. Oh God, they're awful. But
oh yeah, they are.
They're saying it's around this Australia's first COVID-19 lockdown. So that would make sense as to why that got locked down. People were concerned with other things. And also Forza 7 is coming October 8th to Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, really?
Will be actually a lot of fun. That might be one of the first games that I fire up on the Series X because Forza games are always so beautiful and the cars look so nice.
They really do, right? They really do look good. I've noticed, speaking of like games looking really nice, if you go and check out these YouTubers who are putting out videos this week, because the embargo has been lifted, they can now officially release their content that they've been just clamoring to put out there for people. Digital Foundry has some good ones. Your Average Consumer has a couple good ones too. But they're showing the games. People should go check them out because they're showing the games that running on these consoles and doing side by sides. Monster Hunter World is one that is one of the ones that people are putting in their queue to show to people. I know Digital Foundry is doing it. Your Average Consumer is doing it. That's like the number one game that I'm the most curious about, like right away to turn on just to see what the enhancements are. But when you look at the side by sides compared to the Series X and the One X, I don't know if this was a display calibration that was different or not, but the One X had better colors on some of the monsters that you would see running around in the world than the Series X. The Series X actually had more bland colors. Like it didn't seem as rich. And I'm not sure if that's because the colors are trying to be more accurate on the Series X. I don't think that's it. I just think that there might have been something different going there. I got to take a look at a couple other YouTubers to see if they're showing off Monster Hunter World. But man, I'm really, really excited. So this is we're recording this on September 30th, and the Fatalis update came out today. It is the last Monster Hunter World update that we're going to get. DLC. It's the last monster, and it's this thing that no one's ever fought for. It's a giant ass dragon called Fatalis, and his nickname is the Black Dragon. And I'm going to upload a couple clips to Reactive Reload's Twitter and maybe our YouTube. As soon as I landed down in the fight, I was killed twice. I had like a buff that let me not die. So if I get killed, which means you get carted, little cats will pick you up on a cart and take you back to camp. So you have to fly back. I had a buff that prevented that, and then I got killed right away as soon as that buff activated. So I died twice right away as soon as I hit the ground. And I had a good build going and everything. But people need to check that out because it's going to be a lot of fun. And Fatalis, if you're listening right now, I want you to know that you are lucky that I had to come on tonight and do a podcast. I'm coming for you. Yeah. I'm coming for you. Yeah.
I know how invested you are in Monster Hunter World. It's a game that I really need to get back into. I played it just a little bit.
So much fun.
And it is on Game Pass. folks.
Yep, it is.
So
yep.
if you have Game Pass, you can play it, and everything is on there.
That's right.
But I know you cannot wait to wear Fatalis.
I am going to wear him out as well.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to.
That's right.
He's been kicking your ass today.
Yeah, so without a doubt.
You got to fight back, man.
I'm not sure how it happened, but it happened.
You know, one of the other things that is a little bit underrated, I think, where Microsoft is really kind of winning the battle of the gaming market share is the Xbox Remote Play. We haven't talked about this at all, but the ability to, because they've got like all these plugins for your controller and stuff like that, so you can actually play with a controller on your phone or tablet. You can basically even turn your tablet into a Joy-Con, like how they have for what is that, Nintendo Switch. So like this is big. I mean, the market that they're going to be able to reach everywhere is huge. I mean, they're tapping into everything. You're getting a large portion of PC with Xbox Game Pass. You're getting the mobile gaming market, which isn't as big here as it is over in kind of the Asian countries. But you're tapping into that market with Apple and Android. And then you also have your traditional console. So I mean, they're really just pushing up. I can't remember where I saw the graphic. I think it was on YouTube. I think it was actually a YouTube video that you sent me, but it showed like the total market share of games that Xbox would be able to reach with all of this. And it was like north of 75%. Like it was insane.
Yes, it's a lot. I saw a meme. Maybe it was a fake picture, not, but like I could see it with going on with the Xbox Remote Play. I saw someone had their cell phone set up like a monitor, and they had a mouse and keyboard. And that's how they're using it. They're just sitting down, hunched over their desk, staring at their phone. like I can't imagine the third party like things you can use with it. The Asus ROG Phone 3 has a bunch of settings like that. Asus, I really want to get one of those phones, but I don't know. Like the controller is what I'm thinking about. Like I wonder if it's compatible with xCloud, because if that's the case, then the Asus ROG Phone 3 would be the best phone to get, probably. People want to talk about how mobile gaming is like the next big thing. I don't really think it is. I mean, it's huge in China and Korea, but here in the United States, like people are like, well, you can't deny the market. You know, the numbers don't lie. But I mean, there's a lot more people than there are, over there in China and Korea than there are here. It's a big. They're big in the technology. They like their mobile games. It's their environment. It's what they like. It's a part of their culture. But here, mobile gaming, I don't know. I don't know if it's as big as it is, in other places around the globe. But I'm definitely going to try it.
It's not just that. It's also that their governments are so restrictive on the games they're allowed to play. Like they don't have very many civil liberties that we enjoy over here.
They just now started allowing Xbox in after like it took a while to get that through. I want to say 2016, but I might be wrong. Could have been back as far as 2012. But for the longest time, they would not let Xbox sell consoles there.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're China and you're, enslaving all those Uyghurs.
Oh God, yeah,
putting them into concentration camps and having them make a whole bunch of phones and stuff for you, then I'm sure you'll be able to sell a lot of cheap phones that way.
Did you hear that Mulan was filmed on some of those camps?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really sick relationship that a lot of these corporations have with the Chinese government.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Xbox really has much to do with China. I know that they just recently allowed, because it's not like they've been allowed to really operate over there. Mm-hmm. But it's been kind of like, it's been very hard for me as a gamer to like watch places like Blizzard and like the NBA, Disney, just kind of suck up to these like this shit country.
Australia also has to follow suit too. A lot of their trading is with them too. So like when it comes to like their face value, Australia's face value, they can look like they're on our side, on the rest of the world's side. But when it comes to their trading, they have to eventually bend to China. And there's a lot of companies that are doing the same thing right now. When you see the companies that do fold for China, it is instant. There is no like happy medium with that. It's like, if they're doing business with them, you have to be with them in a lot of regards.
Yeah, there's no like, like in the case of Blizzard during the Overwatch League, one of the players had something pretty nasty to say about China, and it's immediate suspension. Immediate.
No questions.
There's no like, yeah, what he said isn't wrong, but that's kind of one of our big markets. Like, at least be honest about it. Yeah, it's like we can't really say that because that would be like trashing like a product that's endorsing you. You know what I mean? Like if we had like, say like a Gatorade sponsorship and go, oh, man, Gatorade sucks. Powerade sure is better. Like you can't do that.
Nope.
I get it from that point of view, but also at the same time, I mean, there's got to be, for like all these companies that go so woke, right?
Yeah.
Especially Blizzard and Disney, for them to be so woke and then have them ignore literal concentration camps.
Yeah.
It's why you and I roll our eyes when we see all this.
Why are we not hearing more about it? Well, it's very simple. China. China. It's why.
What is it? Was it in South Park? Oh, Donald Trump, just China asshole.
Quote.
Yes. That was a quote from South Park, everybody. That's what they do. They make jokes. Grow up.
Yeah. I haven't seen the latest episode today. But I gotta check it out.
Didn't they release the pandemic special? Or
is that what that was? Oh man, now I really gotta see it. So there's a couple of videos. There was another company, Randomly Thor had a video. I was actually in the process of watching that right when my power went out. History. Okay, so huge exclusive leaks.
Into the launch of the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, so there have been some Star Citizen leaks coming out, but a lot of people think it might just be Todd Howard doing it. But there's just like a few images and maybe like a ship or something. I don't know if there's any video. I don't think there is. But on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit, which is I thought was going to be like a big deal before the Series X announcements and the PS5 announcements. I thought I was going to get a lot more out of that than what I did. But people kept posting like opinions and things like that. And it was getting so bad in there that like a lot of things were having to get flagged. And so no one was really wanting to post there because not a lot of people are going to it because it was just, opinions and these articles and, rumors are awesome. Gaming Leaks and Rumors are great, but, it's where they happen. Reddit is a hotbed for that. 4chan is hotter for it now, though. So I know you love 4chan. I only go there every once in a while. Don't ever go to Live Leak unless you want to be traumatized.
I love the trolls of 4chan. Those are my people. I use the term trolls affectionately.
Yeah, the Shia LaBeouf incident, that was great.
Oh, amazing. Could you imagine being tracked down based upon airplane patterns and trying stars?
And at the end, honking the horn until it came up on the stream.
Yeah. The U.S. government couldn't find Osama bin Laden living in a cave in Pakistan for over a decade. And 4chan found Shia LaBeouf.
That's right. That's right. It's so much funnier when people say, "Oh, did you see what Reddit found out, or did you see what 4chan found out?" Like I feel like it would ruin it if we knew who exactly was behind this. But most of the time, it is a collaboration, right? A lot of the people on 4chan.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people that get together.
Those
images of Starfield look nice, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's very clean. I
said Star Citizen, but I think
did I?
Anyway.
Oh man, that old money laundering scheme.
It's been going on since like 2013.
Yeah, like I knew something fishy was going on when they started announcing these bundles that costed like $20,000, and like, are you serious? Like, how are you not getting investigated right now? Like, are you kidding me? Like, no one's going to buy that, but people were buying it. And so then I started thinking, oh, I see what's going on here. Like it became real clear. All you got to do is like watch the first episode of Ozark, and then you understand what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of space stuff, though.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is getting another expansion that's coming out on Game Pass too.
Yes, it is. And man, whenever you are ready to make the jump, I will finance it for you. I have got the max amount of units in that game. I almost lost it too, by the way, because for some reason I can't log into. So you can play the PC version on Xbox on Steam, or you can play the Xbox version on PC as well too. And that one is a little bit buggy right now. I gotta check it in this week and see if I can log in. But I've been logging in on my Xbox every once in a while to do these community events because you get a lot of cool apparel stuff and credits and things like that. But like, man, I've got you covered in that game. It almost made me restart my save all over again when logging into PC because I didn't have the new update downloaded. So I've got a ship called
drop.
Oh man, it scared me because like my brain was like numb when I turned that game on, and it said initialize, and that's what it says for everyone when they start their game. So if I were to hold X all the way through the circle, I would have completely overwrote my first save, and it's happened to people, and they're terrifying stories. I'm glad I stopped myself. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? Like, stop holding X, you idiot! Stop it! So I stopped, and then I looked at the issue. I'm like, oh, I don't even have the new update downloaded. This could have been bad. This could have been real bad. But no, I have a ship called For Crossover in the game, and it is filled. It is filled with 25 stacks of like 25 million each. So each there's like these squares in your ship's inventory, and there's 25 of them. There's like 48. I think I have like 25 stacks filled with with 25 units that are worth $25 million or a million credits in there. And it is loaded. You know, kind of like was it Mike? Is it Mike in Breaking Bad? That little bank he has for his granddaughter. That little trust fund. Yeah. I've just been saving it up.
No Man's Sky, man. That game, it's come a long way.
It really has.
People who haven't really paid it. I haven't really dove back into it, but I have paid attention to it, obviously mostly through you. But like if you go and you look at just the aesthetics of it now, I mean, it looks like a totally different game. Like it doesn't even look. What a weird thing too, man, because they dropped it. It was a flop. It was disappointing. They didn't follow through on anything that they promised.
Yeah.
And then the developers just disappeared for weeks.
Yeah, Sean Murray.
It's just gone.
He is so infamous for doing that. But you know what's hilarious is that when now since No Man's Sky is a much bigger deal than it was before, whenever he tweets just one emoji, the internet explodes. And all of a sudden, like everyone floods Twitter and just starts looking at this thing. What does this all mean, Basil? Kind of deal. When they start talking about him. This latest update was the Origins update that came out last week. And what it does is it completely changes the algorithm of planets that you find. Now you see lightning. There's active huge volcanoes. There's a lot more weather storms. Like if you go into the oceans, there's like sea monsters and all sorts of crazy things that want to kill you and probably will if you don't know what you're doing. Like there's these living ships that you can get from these cracking void eggs that are really hard to obtain. I have a couple hundred of them saved up as well to give to people, whoever wants one. They're very expensive on the market. But yeah, they have completely changed. They have now, with this last Origins update, it looks better than the initial E3 trailer that they showed. But I have to say, I've been defending this game since about 2014. Like I remember getting in arguments with people playing Destiny 1, telling them how amazing it is that I can just fly from my big ass Star Destroyer freighter space station down to a planet anywhere I want to, make a base wherever I want to, invite friends and have like a big ass $1 billion farm growing. And I could then, if I'm done with that planet, if I can go back, that could be my home planet. I got a portal. So whenever new place to go to, I can go right back there in an instant, just right in my space station. And then I can just take my space station and just open up a star map. And when you see the star map for the first time, you will not believe where you can go to. There are now 18 quintillion points in this whole No Man's Sky universe that you can see and discover. Now that is multiple systems, multiple different galaxies. Once you get to the center of your galaxy that you're in, man, that's where all sorts of crazy things happen. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to spoil it, but when you make your game for the first time, it's a race to get to the center just so you can see what happens. But people who already know what happens are making new characters so that they can, stay in certain systems they grew up in, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we could talk about No Man's Sky forever and the things that they have done. But if anyone wants a good chill game with amazing music and completely original experiences you're not going to get anywhere else, like, I'm not the developer, I promise. I'm just a big fan. And I have put a lot of time into this game on PlayStation and now on Xbox more than ever.
And also, too, they've made it easier to team up with your get together with your friends as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember at the very beginning of that game, that was one of the big knocks on it, because you and your friend could play for weeks and never find each other.
That's right.
Because back then it was still really big. Wasn't there like some like 10 million different systems that you could go to?
And I didn't even report what happened to me, because you're supposed to report if you run into someone. You're supposed to report it just so they know on the website, like, this is happening. I actually did come up right behind someone, like in space, like when they were claiming plans and things like that. It was pretty intense because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, should I troll? Should I be nice? Should I be helpful?
The answer is always troll.
The answer is always troll.
Yeah, always troll. A good troll goes a long way for everybody involved. Because especially like that guy, because he's like, I'm just claiming planets. There's nobody around me, and then boom, you just pop in. And you're like, what's up, man? And you just throw all your gear down and then run away. Perfect troll. He'll remember that forever.
Nice.
And then when he goes to pick up your gear, you kill him. Take all of your gear and his gear back.
That's right. I know some people who would give that gear back.
Like in Rust, when you just fuck with the response.
Did you hear what they did in Rust? Where they made they made anyone who was playing the game in Rust, they made them reset their characters, and they had their own character ID, and half of them, or more than half of them, were turned into a woman. Yeah.
Resolution has no gender.
That's right. When I saw that, I was like, man, I was really thinking about getting into Rust, right? But if you're going to seriously take people's game files that they've been playing for, I'm not sure how long it's been out.
Oh, yeah.
But if anyone at least has a hefty save of a couple of years, and all of a sudden you erase their character and make them start over as a woman, just so we get an idea of what trans people feel like. I don't know. There's I don't think this is it, Chief.
Yeah, Rust has been out. It initially released December 11th, 2013. It's been out for a long time.
Yikes. So, yikes. That's wow. That's a long time. That's when Defiance came out. I was playing
DayZ
Defiance.
came out then too.
Oh yeah, DayZ also. I was really wanting to get
in. It's a big year for survival games.
It really is. It's a big year for a lot of games now too. Like we're going to be playing all these crazy games on the Series X, even on PC too. Our PCs are still kicking it. They're still doing really well.
Yeah, I can't wait to upgrade my graphics card.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to do it too. I want to see what all this new stuff has.
7 Days to Die came out in 2013 as well.
Oh yeah, we played that a little bit with Steve-O, right? He was the one who introduced us.
Yeah, Steve-O and Vinny. Arma 3 came out in 2013. Whereas survival games were big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess Arma is more of like a tactical shooter, but then you got PUBG at Arma. It was a big year. 2013 was a big year.
I remember when you were telling me about Players Unknown Battlegrounds. I was
on that, dude. I was
hooked.
Train right away. I was like one of the first ones on that.
I think if we tried it up,
I built a PC to play that game.
Yeah, I was about to say, like you were. I remember you getting on the mic and telling me everything that was going on in the party. I was like, oh, dude, this sounds intense. Like half the time I built my PC, I was thinking about what you were going through, and I was hearing a few tips, like as you were like trying to like build it, like while you were still in the Xbox party, and I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh man, this is what that's going to be like. And when I went to make mine, I was like, at first it was a bundle, but man, I would have felt so much better, and I do, if you actually just take the time. It's like adult Legos. It is so easy now to build a PC, And
there's so many YouTube videos too to like just guide you.
Just don't watch The Verge. Don't watch whatever The Verge PC build is. I get that people are giving him shit, but I don't think they should be giving him as much shit as they're giving him. But he's basically like what the Nickelback or the No Man's Sky of PC builders. Like he's like the guy that everyone hates now. Like that can't make him feel that special.
Terry Crews actually got into PC gaming with his son.
Yes, he did. VR.
He built for Overwatch too. There's a lot of rumors back then. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors back then that he was going to be the voice of Doomfist, which was kind of created by the fans. I don't think Doomfist was really I don't think Blizzard really came up with them. I feel like the fans kind of created Doomfist and Blizzard with it. And it was rumored that Terry Crews is going to be the voice of Doomfist. Some people were happy about that, others not so much. I thought it would have been cool because it would have brought a lot of eyes to the game. Just like you have.
What if we got a game?
Crews being actor for that,
right? What if we got a game like Overwatch or like Doom or whatever, or something where it's a character game, but we make the characters, right? So that way other people can hear about our characters that we make, not us, but just like the characters and how good stats they have. I think that would be awesome. And I think that's where I think character shooters are eventually going to go back to having these create your own character and put it into the shooter. Like an Overwatch, and whenever someone introduces a new character, it would be your character with your abilities, what you wanted to do, to have that ultimate freedom. And DC Universe, they're basically doing that too, and they're adding that into the meta. But that would just, in my opinion, be so much fun if people just accepted that type of a game and tried
there's an easy way to do that. If you're a big company like Blizzard, there's a very simple solution to that: mods. You just allow mods into your game. Players can create their own characters. Like obviously the characters are going to be crazy, but you can always find, if you're the developers, you can always find ideas that you like and kind of borrow from that to create like a new character. You know what I mean? And then obviously there's going to be like the very serious mod creators that are going to try to create like an actual balanced character. So that would be so much an easy way to do that, and just have like a workshop where you can use it.
Yeah.
See where that goes.
Yes.
I do not I think every game should incorporate mods because it's a way that your game can live forever.
Yeah.
And it's free content for you. Like especially like map creation and stuff. It's literally just free content.
And WoW was doing that before Classic WoW came out. People would have their own private servers and with their own rules, but it would be a server, say, like I know you don't know much about the like Wrath of the Lich King expansion or Cataclysm, but those are big parts of my life when I was used to play WoW a lot. And people have servers that are only Wrath of the Lich King servers for PvP, for events, and anything like that. And so people can go to these modded servers and just get the same rewards and have the same abilities. Because like I loved Wrath of the Lich King, I loved Cataclysm, Burning Crusade. A lot of the original guys, they wanted to play that as well. And I think it's the best idea. It's really the best plan. Like you're right.
Fallout.
Blizzard came along and made it classic WoW, and they said, "Guys, this isn't the way. Let us make money off of this." We'll give you updates.
I mean, look at what Bethesda's done. They take the best mods of the community and then they integrate them into the game and sell them back to you. Like it's a very easy way. Like it gives you a steady stream of
I like that they do that too. I really do.
Yeah, me too. And then you can always find pretty much the free version of that if you really wanted it. Like if you're really like, oh, I'm not going to fall into this scheme, but like whatever.
Warframe does it.
Do whatever you want.
Warframe does that.
Far Cry. We played a lot of Far Cry.
I'm going to be playing a lot of Far Cry 5 when we get to Series X.
Mods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they like they screwed the pooch on it a little bit, but like the game mode's playing like multiplayer on there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun. Like despite how buggy it was on server side, that wasn't really anything to do with the
and the first person driving. Oh, it's perfect. It is the most cozy, like laid back. I want to know how they got that, because in my opinion, that is the best first person driving I've ever seen. I just want to stay in the car. Like I don't want to like back out to a third person view. Like that is perfect first person driving right there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better than PUBG's first person.
Yeah, the
you just die.
GTA's is a little bit. I would put the GTA's under Far Cry 5.
Very stiff.
Yeah,
it was always very stiff.
There was one thing
in first person
I wanted to mention in last week's show, and that was the Call of Duty driving. I left it out. I want to stay real quick that in the Cold War alpha, that driving the boat was insanely good. Like it felt nice. Like when you get in there, you get this rush. Like, oh, there's so much freedom of controls. I can even shoot people and drive at the same time if I wanted to. Like it was so responsive. Like, man, I gotta pre-order this game. Like, because I want to get in on that open beta. Huh? I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. It's a good place to wrap.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Looks like we're going to have to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for coming. Hopefully there's going to be a lot more. Hope you liked it. You can follow the show at Reactive Reload on Twitter. You can follow me at The Irish Cowboy, No Take Backsies, and Crossover at Reactive Branded. You guys have a good day, night, whatever the hell time it is you're watching this. We fucking love you.